Good morning, Aries. Today's reading is going to be your month ahead for September. I'm going to try and mix in astrology with tarot to give you a more accurate reading. Your astrology is up here, which I'm going to try and link in, and this is your tarot, which I've already put out because I did need to look at this beforehand. It's very difficult to mix it all together. This is what I've got so far with regards to what I'm thinking. You have got Mars in Gemini in your third house this month. So to me, I'm looking at this thinking busy, nervous energy, having your fingers in lots of different pies, lots of traveling, lots of communication, lots of ideas coming. It feels like fresh energy. It feels like, when you're a kid with that third house and school, when new things start and you start getting your new pencil case, you start thinking about what's coming towards you, and it just feels as if you get a little bit heightened in some way, in a nice way. It's just like open opportunities, socializing, flighty talking, things start moving. You have got your Mercury in Libra this month, which falls into your seventh house, which you think, once again, that's communicating. And you've got the Two of Water down here. Your Mercury will be opposite Jupiter, which will be in your first house if you've got Aries rising. So to me, that feels like communication. Somebody comes out of the woodwork with regards to maybe somebody you're attracted to, or somebody you're slightly in contact with. The communication to me feels like it amps up and it makes you feel good because you've got that Jupiter in your first house, and somebody from the seventh, it could just be a business partner. It could be totally career or work orientated, which is a strong feeling. That could be so, but it may not be. Let me just go into this here. You've got Venus in Virgo, which will fall into your sixth house. So once again, there's a work stamp on your month ahead, and it feels busy. It feels as if you have got you're stuck in things. It feels like you don't actually look up that much this month. It just feels like it's a good month. If I could put it into a picture, it would be you in work, head down, working, people talking to you, you laughing, working, just getting things done, shifting through it, lots of details, lots of activity, and then something happens in a probably a work situation where there will be some sort of communication with the boss or with an employee or with somebody that you're in school with, who you are probably attracted to or have a connection with in some way. There was a strong feeling when I put this out, and I don't know why, because there's masks here. And then you had the Ace of Swords, and the first thought that came into my mind as I was looking at this, it's almost like asking for a pay rise. It feels, because of the Gemini, because of the Virgo, because of the busyness, because of the communication, because you're enjoying things and you're getting things done in a very Virgo style, because it made me think of signing papers. There is a possibility that you go to your boss or you go to somebody in work and a conversation is had, because there's Mercury in Libra here and you've got here the Ace of Swords down here. But just a warning here, it may not go as you want. If that is so, you could be possibly, because you're actually ending in a page here, and then you've got this sort of like taking masks off here. There's two scenarios in this that I can think of, and you walking away at the end here. It may be one of those conversations when they go and say, just go make a list of what you've done to deserve your pay rise, type of thing. Just a possibility there. Because it's communication, it's relationships, it's work orientated. It feels as if it's busy, and it feels as if, Mars in Gemini is nervous. The other scenario here, if you're interested in somebody who you probably know through work, or it could even be a boss or somebody you work with, or it could be a colleague, because this does have a work stamp on it. With the Two of Water here and the mask card here, you've got two masks here. You've got the actual word mask here, and then you've got here the Page of Pentacles at the end with the mask on. To me, it feels like something could be revealed. You could possibly be put in a work situation or a scenario where you have to share your information or your skills in a group where you meet somebody, or you may know there's somebody already. And Two of Swords and the World card here, especially with the communication with your Mercury, in your 7th house, something could be revealed that makes you feel good. Somebody could be attracted to you and you get to know it. So there could be some, especially with that Gemini energy, some light flirting here. Especially if you suspect this already with the World card and the Mass card here. It feels like things are revealed. You're not so sure to begin with, things are revealed. And then there's like a feeling of possibly spending time together, working together in something. Then you get pulled apart. It could be short term here. Communicating, exchanging things, studying, which is a possibility with the 3rd house here, and then you get pulled apart. Okay, right, Aries. If you're Aries rising, this will apply more to you. Sun or Moon, still the same, but the houses fall better if you're Aries rising. I think the things to look out for to help you this month would be be honest and open with yourself with this mask here. Be confident with where you want to go, because that Gemini and Virgo energy, being Mercury, can almost immerse you into details and into nervous energy. But there's a feeling here, because you're actually revealing your mask, but then you're almost like told to bat it back down again. It's like, keep yourself stable, keep yourself steady. If there's somebody you're attracted to in a work situation, especially work situation, and you get a chance to work with this person, don't hold on to it as if they're always going to be there. It could be just a project that you share and then you move away and you maybe think of how to get that back, which is fine. But it does feel like the communication, this is like a spread, like take the communication that you have with this person and run with it. It's like, even if it doesn't last, you've got Jupiter in your 1st house here, so there's a really nice feeling here of this person making you feel good and making you feel big in some way. Not like that. There's also a feeling here that, you know, having Jupiter in your 1st house with the 2 of Swords here and the mask being taken off from the World card here, that a business partner or somebody you're attracted to in work allows you to, or gives you more responsibility, or allows you to express yourself in a way that, you know, Jupiter in the 1st house is going to be who they're going to be. They're not going to put a face on. So this feels like you get a chance to express yourself. Very strong feeling of somebody you may be attracted to and that may have not shown their feelings before comes forward. With the 7 of Swords there in a way that you may not have expected, because there is masks, there's lifting masks, flipping masks everywhere, all over the place here, and there's lots of communication, there's lots of nervous energy. It almost feels giddy, it feels like you're put into a situation where you've got to control yourself. Communicating, maybe you're starting some sort of form of study, or maybe you are in a work situation, or you're in school, but this may not last. And just take it and embrace it and feel, just take it, this person's attracted to you, and that will be it. Because the 2 of Water there, you know, that's a connection where you're both similar, which is a strange thing to say, and I don't think Aries could identify with that. But if you had a bit of Cancer in, when you meet people you want to hold, with Aries, you probably would be easy for you to jump into that, just enjoying the moment, that Jupiter in the 1st feeling of somebody seeing you, you feeling good, feeling attractive, it be feeling unusual and you feeling stimulated by it. So Aries, that's what I've got for your month ahead. Nervous, fun, attraction, working as part of a team, enjoying it, getting stuck into details, a fresh start with regards to work, feeling excited, and then having to move out of a situation that made you feel good and just basically treat it as a birthday present. Really good for that time being, even if it doesn't come back round for another year. Okay, Aries, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much. Bye. Hi Taurus, this is for your month of September, so your month ahead. It probably applies more so because of the houses involved if you're Taurus rising, but it's fine for your Sun and Moon as well. I've going to mix in the astrology, which is up here, with the tarot in some way, which is difficult, so just bear with me while I'm thinking. And your cards are out already, because I have tried to think a little bit, but I just switched it on. you've got a feeling here because you're coming across as the Empress energy and you've got Taurus, rising sun or moon. So to me, it feels like you're happy and you're in yourself this month ahead. You have also got Mars in the second house, which, you know, being Taurus, finances are important to you. It feels to me, as you're coming across as the Empress as well, that you find a way to assert yourself in some sort of, it feels like a financial control, or in a situation with regards to money exchange, and you're happy with what you've got. It feels like the security with regards to finances. And it's for you basically going out and making it so, rather than waiting for something to come towards you. And you could even be, you know, spending money as well with the Empress card here, because the Empress is multiplication. So there could be a feeling here that you're beautifying yourself in some way, spending money. But it feels like you're happy with what you've got, and it feels like you're content. It feels like you're actually doing something. With the Empress card here and having the Mars in second, you know, it could even be spending money. But you're happy and you're content, and you've got everything around you that, like these ladies here, that make you feel good. So you could even be like booking the hairdressers, you know, and spending a wad at the hairdressers, or buying clothes or something like that. Now, there are quite a few feelings in here. You have got Venus in your 5th house this month in Virgo. What I would say here, there's a twist in this. You almost expect to see the 7 of Swords. There's a twist in here, like you're feeling as if the world evolves around you next month and you enjoy every moment of it, whether it's financial, whether it's love. There's a feeling here that it never comes in the way that you expect it, which it often is with life. You have got, you're in the centre pile here, the King of Wands, and you've got the 3 of Swords. So it feels like people are attracted to you. You are the centerpiece throughout the whole of September. You've got the Empress card here. But if you've got your eye on somebody, it won't be through that particular person. Because you've got this card here with the Page of Pentacles, which is like small practical things happening. You've got you looking out that way, and the Wheel of Fortune. It's like, yeah, this is going to happen. I look good. I've just planned my head. I look fantastic. I've got the right clothes on. I'm going to make sure I line myself up with this particular person. It's just going to kick off because I'm really in my prime. That type of feeling here. And it's not that particular person where you get your ego boost, where it feels good. Because you're ending here with the Fool card and the Judgment card, and you're blocked, it's like, and you're blocked here, but you still get this feeling of being satisfied in yourself, but through almost like opening another box. Let me give you an example. Let me have a look at your Venus in your 5th house. Mercury would be in the 6th and then the 12th. Okay. Okay. Let's just say this may not be for anybody, but this is how it will come out. So try and translate it to a situation you possibly could be in. Let's just say you know somebody quite well, and you're with them, and you know that you look fantastic and that you're really happy in yourself. You feel confident. You're talking to this person with Mercury in the 6th, and then that's opposite Jupiter in your 12th. So you know who you are. With Jupiter in the 12th, this particular moment in time. And so you're communicating with this person, perhaps everyday scenario, perhaps a work situation, and they somehow with here rebuff you, but you are the king of the forest. So, and in rebuffing you, you get some insight into who they are, and that you may not actually want them anyway, because you're feeling tip-top here. So you could actually have some sort of, not mental breakthrough, but some sort of psychological breakthrough with regards to who you are and what you want. And you may actually decide you don't want what you thought you wanted in the first place, because the Fool card is moving on somewhere else. But the whole message in this is you moving forward. This sounds like as if it's like trying to patch up a difficult reading, and it's the complete opposite. because the centre pile is most important, the King of Wands here. You've got a feeling here with your Mars being in the second house, and that is also your values and who you are, and you're coming across as the Empress here. And this whole line works its way across into a situation, a scenario where you are basically pushed into looking at your Jupiter opposite Mercury, which is in your 12th, the Jupiter's in your 12th. So you're looking inside yourself to try and fit yourself into a situation. With the Judgment card and the Fool card, it's like you get even more than you actually imagined at the end of it. You're in a place when somebody may reveal a little bit themselves, you think, well, actually that wasn't what I was looking for anyway, and I'm really happy. Not in a putting the other person down, but more the fact that you're the Empress and the King of Wands here, and you've got Mars in the second. So you just are asserting yourself with regards to your self-value and pulling on that Jupiter energy in your 12th to find out exactly who you are. And the Judgment and the Fool is like, that's a new step into a totally new place where you are king of the forest. Right, Taurus, I don't know if that applies. Really strange reading, I know, but that is what it feels like. And you've got Venus in your 5th house. That may even be a chance to flirt. It feels like you could get a door opens up to be with somebody who you've really been attracted to, and in spending time with that somebody, you think, actually, no, I'm more attractive for myself, thanks very much. Which is another strange thing to say, but especially if we have, if we project things onto other people and we make them almost a little bit otherworldly, and then when you get to know them, they're just human, and then you start looking at yourself and think, actually, I'm in a really good place. And in a positive way, sometimes having, being attracted to other people can actually allow us to see ourselves and grow. So there may be a thanks here as well to that other person, but that is what I've got. Pile number, you're not a pile, are you? You are actually Taurus. Taurus, I'm going to say thank you and bye. Hi Gemini, this is going to be easier if it's Gemini rising, because the houses may apply to you a little bit easier, but it could be, you could have Gemini moon or Gemini sun as well. It doesn't really matter, but just the houses are easier if you've got Gemini rising. Okay, I'm going to try and mix astrology with tarot to give you a more accurate reading for September. You have got, in September, you have got Mars in your 1st house. And if you are Gemini, which you are in some shape or form, Mars can add to being more nervous, or being a little bit more heightened, or having more energy in some way. If it's badly aspected in your chart, depending on where it's moving and what degree it is, it could lead you to being a bit contentious or a little bit argumentative. Just a thought there. But most of the time, Mars in Gemini will be somebody who's funny, amusing, doing lots of different things, quite sociable, very articulate, very flighty, and quite clever, I suppose, in some ways, or just silly, clever, whatever. But it's got a feeling of energy in it this month. You have got your Mercury in the 5th house. Now this is where I'm trying to interpret the 5 of water here, which is for you for the month here. The 5 of water to me always feels like something lost, but it's like something else opens up. So having your Mercury in your 5th house, to me it feels like a hobby, or something that you do naturally without being told to do it. If there's something you do in the evenings, you don't get paid for it, but you're just like, what do you do naturally without somebody having to say, do this, and you might get paid for it? Because you've got Jupiter in the 10th house. One's quite small and detailed and doing what you're doing, and the other one is Jupiter, but it's an opposition. So I wonder, because there's loss here, and you're coming across really smug with yourself, fantastic, in this central pile here, whether you get to some sort of, I'm going to say hoedown, I actually mean showdown in work, or in a job, or even with a parent and a child, and you come out better. But it doesn't feel like it. It feels as if, I'm going to say it's there for the making, because you've got this raw cash test here. And we've had so many discussions lately on fate and karma and free will, and it goes around in circles with us, because I want to say, because of my personality, that just, you know, how I feel, that there's no such thing as karma that's stuck in stone, and or fate that's stuck in stone, or a karma isn't basically going to reel out and you've got to play it out. But to be honest, and it makes me feel really sad to say this, or aggressive or upset, I'm not sure if that is true, which is, to me, doesn't make sense. And I tried to say that it would maybe that we are so set in our personalities that we go tumbling down a certain path and we don't even look up from the floor to be able to change our direction, which could be so. But, you know, what I'm saying here, you know, I don't know, to be honest, is, anyway, let's go back to your reading here. There's some loss here, and there's something to do with you not really caring. It's a bit like pile number 2, which was Taurus, with the Knight of Wands here and the Nine of Cups. You struggle with something in a work situation. You could, Five of Water, Knight of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles, and these work cards here, and starting something fresh. You could be really happy where you were. You could be quite content in a situation where you may earn your money. You could be shifted sideways or put into something which is better for you. But you would lose people, I think. There's something that you lose. There'll be familiarity. There would be a work scenario or a situation that would be taken away from you, that you would be better off moving, but you would lose contact with people, especially with the fact that you have got Mercury in the 5th house. Let's just say you've got a hobby at home that you do, or there's something that you do that makes you feel like you. And you've got Jupiter in the 10th, so this kicks off and you get an opportunity to start something fresh with the Ace of Wands here and the Raw Cash test. It's like something you couldn't imagine, but you just get, maybe somebody comes towards you. Where is your Mercury? Yeah, that's one that's in your 5th. Or you're offered something and it feels fantastic, but you miss out on something. It's like a dream, but you miss out. And I'm wondering whether it's communication with people. So especially if you're thinking of doing something from home, or whether you're doing something which takes you away from a group of people that you're with now, it's like you begin something, it feels good, but you regret a slight part of it. But I think the fact you're in the Page of Cups here, that will develop till you get used to it. It's the change here with the Ace of Wands, the Raw Cash test, that's upsetting you. And you've got Mars in your 1st house, so it's the time to assert yourself and do something that allows you to be you. So I don't know if this feels as if it's right. And once again, you've got Venus in your 4th house. So this could be setting yourself up at home, or setting yourself with an evening job, or doing something that makes you feel good. The reason it feels work orientated is because you've got the 5th house and the 10th house involved. So, you know, the 10th house is normally how you're seen outside, and the 5th house is normally those things that give you that kick, that make you excited, that make you feel like a child. So Gemini, this is what I've got. 5 of Water and the Raw Cash test. You've got change coming to you this month, I think, with regards to something being offered or something landing in your lap, perhaps a work situation that makes you feel like, oh my God, that I couldn't wish for anything better. But you will have to make changes that leave parts of you behind that you slightly mourn. And this is a feeling like, you know, when I pack to go on holidays, and I'm sure lots of people are the same, I love going on holiday. It's just a change of scenery which wakes me up. But I feel like crying the night before. I don't even know why, and because it's the change. But you maybe actually do the night before crying, and you will miss parts of things you've left behind. But it's the thing to do. It's the way forward. It's how to assert yourself being you. You know, in the Gemini that you are, wherever it is in your chart, you've got 5th house and Mercury going on here. It's part of you being you, which could be sociable, could be, there's a feeling here of using the internet, there's a feeling here of working from home, there's a feeling here of you just being your natural, bright or flighty self. and you're in your own world and it's the right decision, but there's bits that you will feel like, we'll ever get that back. You will. It will grow with the Page of Wands. The Knight of Wands looking this way, and even though there's like sadness here, these cards are strong and moving forward. So take chances and don't say no through wanting to keep the status quo. Accept that everything needs to grow. And if something lucky lands in your lap, just say thank you and move with it. Okay, Gemini, that's what I've got for your month ahead. Good luck. Bye. Hi, Cancer. This is for your month of September. I'm trying to use astrology and tarot together, to give you a more accurate reading. I've got your cards out already because I've been looking at them. You have got this month, you have got Mars in your 12th house. You have got Mercury in your 4th, which is making me think of this centre pile here, which is the most important pile. And you have got Venus in your 3rd. Okay, so Venus in your 3rd. The 4th house and the 3rd house, you've got Justice card here in the centre, which is the most important. You're coming across as a 9 of water, and with the Justice card together, it feels like there's some form of communication with your 3rd house as well, and Venus there, that flows well at home, probably to do with a woman. In a home situation or there could be lots of different thoughts here. Let's just say there's travel home, you go to your home country, or you're actually heading home for some, wherever it is, whether it's where you were born or whether you just perceive it as home. It feels like you could have a get together with friends or family. And the Queen of Swords there, the 9 of water, it's like getting back with is female with feminine with a buddy or a friend that makes you feel good, whether communication is flowing, where you're talking about old times or something like that with Mercury in the 4th, where it just feels good. There's a feeling here of perhaps feathering your nest as well, with the King of Pentacles twice in the 4th house emphasised. And then you've got a karmic soul tribe. You could actually go home, visit somebody, talking to somebody, communicating really well with a female that makes you feel good, and you sort of see them with the karmic soul tribe. Have you got the 12th house highlighted? You've got Mars in the 12th, of course. It's like you realise there's some sort of attachment with a particular person, probably a female, that you may not have identified before. The time that you spend with this person may be short, because you've got a feeling here of moving away, but you've also got a feeling here of looking back and trying to build something here. So, okay, 2 feelings here. I'm going to put it into a story so that you can twist it into how this may fit into your month ahead. Let's just say that you have bought a house, or you're going home, or you're renting a property somewhere that makes you feel good and feels like home. So the King of Pentacles here, to me, is somebody who perhaps is spending money going on holiday, or putting money into perhaps the home environment, with the emphasis here on the 4th house. You're feeling good about it. It feels like it's what you're meant to be doing. It feels as with this Justice card here, there's people around you sharing this time with you, and you're getting on extremely well with a particular female or somebody. I suppose it doesn't have to be female, but it probably will be somebody who's got very strong Aquarius, Gemini or Libra in them. And in this communication over the month, you begin to realise that this person plays a certain part in your life that's been, or has played, or is going to play a certain part in your life that's very important. And even though you move away, the get together is short but good, there's a feeling here that you're looking back, especially with the King of Pentacles here, on trying to build more with that particular person. Because if you have got Mercury in the 4th, your Jupiter will be in your 12th house. Is that right? Yeah. Is that right? I can't think when I'm actually speaking. No, it won't be, will it? It'd be your 11th house. So that could be friendship group there. growing through a friendship group, communicating with that particular friend that you feel a real link with. And even though you move away fast, you actually want to build on this and get to see this person again, or spend some time with this person. With the King of Pentacles here and the Nine of Water, there's almost a feeling here that it could be, you know, almost setting up something financial together with the Nine of Water. Okay. 12th. Having Mars in the 12th moves me to this karmic soul tribe card here. Having Mars in the 12th is almost like an epiphany with regards to an inner connection to me with this spread here. If you're drawn to somebody who's quite airy and you get to see them, you get to spend time with them, especially in grounds that make you feel comfortable and you can express yourself well. And it feels like with the Justice card there in Libra, that's normally like a get together or a conversation or a group meeting where everything feels like it's flowing. You know, the hostess with the mostess is normally Libra. It's somebody that makes you feel at ease. And then there's like an epiphany with regards to a connection to this particular person. Probably because of this person making you feel good about yourself. It just feels like flow, and it feels easy with these two cards. But there is a strong feeling here, you know, if there is love being expressed in somewhere, and it just doesn't have to be like, you know, this is my partner for life type of love. It just feels like a air sign or a very straight talking woman makes you feel like you're the one and I know who you are with these cards here. Not you're the one forever, but you're the one that is playing a part in my life that's very important to me. So Cancer, there is a strong feeling in your month ahead that you could be entertaining or being entertained in your home, or your home ground in some way, perhaps going home, visiting your homeland. You possibly could be getting together in a group situation that will turn out better than you can imagine. There's a real strong feeling here that you have some sort of soul epiphany with regards to a connection to a particular female or somebody who's quite airy. This may not last, as in your interaction may not last because you may have to move away, you know, like a day later or the next day. But there's a feeling here that it could be something that's nurtured in the future with the karmic soul and the Seven of Pentacles here. This is like looking back to something that makes you feel good and perhaps wanting to build on it to meet again. So this, keep your eye out next month for social gatherings, talking to particular people that float your boat. And wondering later about them, my gosh, that person feels so familiar. I wonder if there'll be a chance to see them again. You may know them already. They make you feel good. They make you feel like a kid. They make you feel like you don't have to hide anything. They make you feel, they're probably very with the Libra card there and the Nine of Water, normally being a very smug card, they're probably very good at complimenting you and making you feel good about yourself. And then with the karmic soul tribe there, it could be like South Node Venus, South Node Jupiter, somebody that makes you feel good and always has done. So that may be a connection to nurture that may be highlighted in September for you there, Cancer. And the good news is that it's probably on your home ground. So you Cancerians can sort of, you don't have to come out of your shell too much for that one. You can just poke your little antennae out on that one. Right, okay, thank you very much, Cancer. I'm going to leave you there. I hope that helps, and have a good September. Bye. Hi Leo, this will work better for you if you're Leo rising, because the houses will fall into the correct place. But if not, Leo Sun, Leo Moon is just fine. I'm going to start talking here because I've just put the cards out to have a look, and I've got a thought in my head with regards to what I'm thinking. There is a feeling here of okay, I'm gonna weed my way into this in a very gentle way. What I was trying to say is there's a feeling here, I'm really careful Leos, do not want to bruise a Leo's pride, heaven forbid, no, I wouldn't want to do that at all. That you have got a strong opinion on something, it's something that you feel is right and it makes you feel good, and you express it in a way that's very direct, but without realizing it may be coming from a part of you that is part of not just your thoughts, but a collection of people around you, parents, some adult could have said it to you when you were young, and you've embedded it into who you are, and you're coming forward with a point of view, I think, or a situation where you're standing your ground and you're being very assertive and very Leo. This is what I think, and because you've got this card in the center here, but you may excuse me, I'll start that again. You may actually ostracize yourself from a particular person or group. I'll tell you why I'm saying this before you start switching off. You have got the Sun of Air card here. And the Sun of Air, the little boy, I love this card. I love this card. Sprinting. And it reminds me of Usain Bolt, because I actually didn't watch it. I bought his video, and there was pictures of him running when he was young, which basically looked like this. It just looked like, I don't know, I love Usain Bolt. Anyway, the Sun of Air here is assertive, articulate, using their mind and communicating. And you have got your Mars in the 11th house, so this could be in friendship groups in some way, you know, with people that you already know. Then you have got the Five of Pentacles in the centre pile, where you almost shut yourself out with regards to asserting yourself. And I'm trying to think, well, why are you asserting, you know, what is going on behind this? Yeah, Mercury in the 3rd is communication. It feels like you're trying to articulate a point, because your Mercury will be in the 3rd house. So this is communication. This is articulating a point. With your Mars in the 11th, with friends, in a way that's very assertive. And you've got your Jupiter then would be in your 9th. So it feels as if you're talking about the woes of the world, or you know, a situation that's bigger, and you're trying to organize it in your head, but this other person doesn't agree with you, and you may be actually talking about or rehashing something that you have heard, and feel like it belongs to you, but maybe just because you've heard it so many times. Let me just go forward with this. You've got here, as it moves along, the Eight of Cups is moving away from a situation. And this can, you know, the Sun of Air is somebody who's speaking. Mars in the 11th house is talking, communicating in probably, you know, with friends in a way that's very assertive. Yeah, Mercury in the 3rd, communication. And the Magician card here is an idea. I'm quite enjoying this pile. I know it seems insulting, but the Magician card here is like a thought or a feeling that becomes a little bit more and becomes an opinion, and that opinion comes out of your mouth, and whatever you're saying becomes what you identify with the Mercury card here, and you're doing it in a very assertive way. But you're actually ostracizing, or your friends are better turning away, but you look really happy with yourself. Oh my gosh. And at the end, you've got tough cards. You've got the Judgment, and the Hermit card. You've got Mars in the 12th house, which is internal and reflective. And the Judgment is like, go and think about that again. And the Hermit card is you're going to get lots of time to think about it. Oh my gosh, Leo. I would not want to insult a Leo. Out of all the signs, it would be the one that made me cry the most. But as advice here with this spread, if you have a fantastic idea and you want to basically give your opinion, especially in an argument or a conversation with friends, and you're feeling really assertive, and it's something that you know, you think needs to be heard, perhaps it doesn't. This next month, more a case of just get on your horse and drink your milk. It's like, just trot off. Trot on. Don't get involved too much. It's like, let things flow through you and don't identify with them, especially in friendship groups and talking to friends, because to me it feels like you're happy in yourself, you're just getting on with it, but you don't want to be ending up with the Hermit card after the Judgment, the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. It's like being sad and on your own. No Leo wants to be that. No Leo wants to be that. And as I said earlier with the 12th house involved, and Mars involved, you could be fighting for something that actually isn't part of who you think you are, with the Magician card and the Sun of Air. It's just something that you have decided is part of you. We all do this. You know, we spread our views, or we talk about ourselves and our situations, and we're adamant it's correct until it's not, which may even be the next 10 minutes. Don't identify with anything and think it's you. You know, with Leo, there's pride there. It's just let it go. So, a bit of easy breezy. If you feel a situation or a conversation revving up into what feels like an argument, it's like throw your head back and laugh type of feeling with this card here, because it could come out worse than you expected with these ending in the 2 Judgment cards and the Hermit. Nobody leaves baby in the corner. Put those don't go together, so stay in this one here where you just don't lower yourself, Leo. Don't do it. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, Leo. Good luck. Bye. Hi Virgo, thank you for joining me. If you've got Virgo rising, this will apply. It will be easier for you because the houses will fit in correctly for you. If you're vegan, if you're Virgo, Sun or Moon, it will still apply. It just may be slightly different here. To be totally honest, Virgo, I'm not sure what's going on in this pile yet. I've switched it on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sift through it and we can go through it together, and you can perhaps see what's going to be coming up towards you this September and the best way to deal with it. You have got Mars in your 10th house. The reason that I'm interested in Mars is the first thing that I've talked about is you've got the 7 of Fire here. This man is shouting at me. So to me, I'm thinking 10th house, aggression, assertiveness, being direct. There's something that somebody will come towards you this month with what feels like an arsey attitude in work, or it could even be a parent, not sure as yet. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking there with that one. So I'm going to think my way through this aloud. A nice thing, you have got Venus in the 1st house. And you start off here with lovely cards of attraction, getting on with somebody, meeting somebody who's very similar to you and sharing views, just basically seeing eye to eye on a situation. It feels like it's mutual. It feels like the attraction's mutual. And you've got here very strong with the Temperance and the Justice card, a feeling of balance. So why is he shouting at me is what I'm thinking here. Okay, got a feeling. The Sacred Fire here and what I guess is an anxiety card here with lots of thoughts and almost being like you're stuck in your own head. This is what it feels like. I'm not going to look at these yet. I'm just going to tell you what I've got so far. It feels like expectations. It feels like with this anxiety card and the Sacred Fire, something that burns inside you. Have you got the 2nd house? You've got Mercury in your 2nd house. So your thought processes, and Gemini is very detailed like you, are very much milling around inside you. And your Jupiter will be in the 8th house, won't it? So that will be people who have got everything going for them with Jupiter, but they hold perhaps the finances or they hold the position. And then you're here being probably a bit self-contained inside your head. And it's something that you've carried. This feels like anxiety. This feels like you're in a situation where you almost want to snap in some way. Everybody sees you in a particular situation as the one that carries the can, the one that's always gentle, the one that always tries to sort of smooth over antagonistic feelings or aggression in any way. And then I've got a funny feeling here that somebody comes towards you and gives you a little bit of aggression, or gives you a little bit of their mind or what they're thinking, or is a little bit too shirty, and you're not used to this type of energy coming out of yourself. But at the moment it feels like, especially with that Mercury, which is in your 2nd house, and the Jupiter opposite that in the 8th house, this is like, your values and who you are, and it feels like you want to draw a line under that with regards to somebody who pushes your buttons. Interesting. Hold on. This feels like it's something that's been going on a long time. You know, with strong Mercury in your chart, people can often think that you pick up the pieces. You know, you're the Cinderella that picks up all the bloody rice bits or whatever they're called after the ugly sisters have come in and turned the table upside down. And it feels like you're going to have enough of this in September. And with these cards here, the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Swords, and then this very sort of confident card, there's a feeling here of asserting yourself by actually retracting. It's like, well, this is enough. This is what I'm doing. And it may not even be verbal. Where is your Mercury again? Yeah, it doesn't have to be you actually saying it. It's like you choose a different option with the Ace of Pentacles here. And then you just remove yourself from the situation. That's how you gain your confidence. It feels like somebody pushes you, but they do you a favour because you actually realise, oh, now that I've felt like that for a while. I'm not letting that person or that situation make me feel like that anymore. Now, these cards can be together quite defensive. It's almost like they reach a bollard, whatever they are, or a traffic. They reach a traffic bollard, and that bollard is you. You're immovable. You've got cement inside you. They can't mow you down. They feel that everything's okay, and they're just being themselves. I don't know if it's work. I don't know if it's home, but it feels like a situation that's normally really easy. You're the one that backs down when this person's being a little bit aggressive, and you're fed up of it. You started questioning yourself so much that it actually nips next time they do it, and so you remove yourself, and they know what you've done because the Ace of Pentacles is a good move. It's a structured move. It's like, okay, I'm not going to work with you. Okay, I'm not going to turn up to your house or visit you. There's quiet. You go into what is a bit of a Gandhi. What was his there? I don't know. His obstinate protest. I forgot what the words are there. But it's good for you. You gain your confidence, or not gain it, but you know who you are. And you give to people this balance inside you, and the way that you apply yourself into the world, or the way that you communicate with people, and you're very kind with people, and it can't be taken advantage of by people who are more aggressive than you. And it's maybe something that's niggled for quite a while with the Sacred Fire here and this Anxious card here, and then you get that back. It's like, okay, you don't have to shout back, because I don't think it's part with the Temperance and the Justice card. It's not part of who you are, but you like nice connections with people. And if you don't get it, you're in your rights to say, full stop. I'm going until you sort yourself out. And then I might come back again on my horse. So Virgo, to me, it feels as if it could be a work situation, because if you've got Mars in your 10th, it could very much be a parent or a work situation, somebody that pushes you that little bit too much, and you're just slightly on edge anyway, or questioning yourself, and you're like, hold on. Mercury in the second house is internal communication here with regards to who you are and your values, and you're like, no, hold on, I'm off on my horse. So you're going to be Gandhi next month, the way that you quietly assert yourself in a particular situation, but it's the correct thing to do, because you are ending here. Let me put my light on. It's getting quiet. It's getting so dark. It's not quiet. So that's what I've got. I'm going to leave you there, Virgo, and I wish you well. Strong, gentle pressure in a direction that you want to go, I think, is going to work for you next month. Don't demean yourself by fighting back here. This is beautiful. You can maintain that, but when people push against you, this is the best thing to do, is to keep your confidence, but remove yourself. Right, I'm going to go. Thank you very much. Bye. Hi Libra, I've just started your power, but it cut off, so hopefully this is it. You have got a feeling here. Just before I start, if you are Libra rising, it will be easy to apply the houses to your reading. If you're Libra Sun or Moon, it doesn't matter. That just changes where the houses fall, could be slightly different. You have got in this spread here, I'm going to try to intermingle the astrology with the tarot. You've got the Knight of Cups and the Lovers in the centre. So I'm thinking a theme of romance here, but you've got the Tower card here. So I'm slightly confused. I'll go through my thoughts with you to see if you can pull out what you think as well, and we can go through it together. Venus is in your 12th house. And you've got the Lovers and the Knight of Cups. So this is something that is probably held deep inside yourself, maybe attraction to somebody that you've not articulated or you haven't even admitted to yourself, but it runs quite deep, possibly here. Gentle feelings, of romance and attraction here. But you've got the Tower card here. So I'm thinking here, where's your Mars? Your Mars is the 9th house. It's your ideas of running forward and where you go. Where you go with them. Where's the bigger picture? Where will you end up in 10 years' time? And is this person going to be included in it? Now, this is what I'm looking at, the progression. You've got the 5 of Cups here, which is an emotional situation where you feel like you can't quite get it going, I guess. There's something still there you can hang your hat on, but not quite enough. The Page of Pentacles adds to that. And then you're thinking here of possibly removing yourself from a situation. The Tower card, something could have already happened or may happen in September that adds to that feeling, this isn't really enough for me. Where's it going to go? It has a very internal, introspective feel to it, this spread, with regards to love. Now, as this moves on, you've got the Knight of Wands. And then you've got the Ace of Pentacles, but your hands are tied. This may or may not apply if you're attracted to somebody who you can't move forward with for a particular reason, and you think that it's over. It feels as if you are given a second wind with regards to this relationship, where you just feel like it's exciting again with these central cards here. But it's still, your hands are tied in some way. It doesn't actually release the pressure that was there in the first place that made you feel like walking away. Because there's a lot going on here. That 9th house is the bigger picture. You may have been asking yourself recently, where is this going to go anyway? Because this hands that are tied thing here, it's that anxiety. And I'm thinking 9th house with regards to where you can move with it. Your Mercury is in your first. Your Mercury is in your first, so you could talk to this person, and that would take your Jupiter into the 7th house. So having these gorgeous cards in the centre, somebody could come towards you who you may already know. The Tower card there makes me think it's got some sort of backdrop to it, and it's very complimentary. It works really well. It's the type of thing you would dream about or wish about. It's got something to do with communication. You think that the situation's over and it opens up, but you could possibly be wondering, oh, it's all going again, it's all moving, this is exciting, and you feel on top of the world, but there's still that, it doesn't actually release you from this, which may have made you feel as if you couldn't move forward in the first place. So, okay. So Libra, with regards to your month of September, you could have had your hopes pinned on a particular person, somebody you're attracted to, and it starts opening up when you thought that you didn't have, you thought you were probably grasping at straws in a way and you were just ready to let go. It could all come back into what I guess is flying back into your life and give you a sense of excitement. It's like it fills you full of confidence, and it fills you full of what I guess is where you can move forward with this, but it doesn't totally solve a particular problem. Now, I think with this one, a bit of advice might be good. I haven't given anybody to anybody else, but that's an unusual situation, especially if it applies for you. Let's just have a look. Only because it feels a Tower card there and loss, and you're getting the Page of Pentacles, not quite enough, and you're thinking of moving away. And in they come, Princess, Prince Charming. And it's like, oh yeah, that's just what I wanted. Let's get going with this again. But there's still something niggling that doesn't quite, there's a bit of a piece of the jigsaw missing in this. It's only a small piece, but it will always, it's in your mind. Advice for you, if this feels right and this person comes back, is be stoic. You've got the King of Pentacles there. It's like, move forward with it, but be sensible with your decisions and know where you sit. Don't be too effervescent, I think I was going to say there. Don't get too excited, too bubbly, too taken away. The Knight of Wands is almost like, I was going to say ripping a belt off, but I actually probably was thinking that. You get this image of somebody just taking a t-shirt off and like running into a bedroom or something. It's like, no, don't. The King of Pentacles here is, you got the Lovers card here and you got the Knight of Wands. So what you actually want to do is run off with them and have a bit of tutti frutti, or I don't know what the words are. And it's like, no, just take it as it comes. Just see how things flow, and be relaxed and be open, honest and consistent. Don't get taken away too much with the moment, because there is still that feeling here. I think it's again, the temptation is to go doolal and to get really excited in this spread. It's like you're being fed again after you've been hungry, and it's, you just want to, gorge yourself, but it's like, don't. Be sensible, just small tastes of things. Okay, so Libra, that's what I've got there. I hope that helps, and good luck. Oh my gosh, good luck with that. Bye. Hi, Pile Scorpio again. This is my second go. I just started and it clicked off, so I'm just going to go for it here. This is for your month of September, Scorpio. It's whether you've got Scorpio rising, sun or moon. Scorpio rising applies a little bit easier because the house is falling to the correct place, but it doesn't matter. I was saying earlier that this is probably the most internal pile I have seen, definitely today and probably for a long time. You've got the Moon card for September for you. So this to me feels like you're looking inwards, you're trying to adjust yourselves internally. You've got the Expansion card here. So it feels like through meditation or through some sort of occult practice, whatever that is, or some sort of internal insight, because you have got Mars in your 8th house. These are both expansive to me. It's like you see things differently, and it could even be like a particular experience with this whole feel of this, because you've got the World card, you've got the Judgment card, you've got Magician, you've got Temperance, you've got big cards here in a scorpionic pile that almost speaks of an internal epiphany through some sort of experience, an expanded view of the world and yourself and life and death in general. So I don't know whether it's going to be something like an outer body experience, but you are going to, and even with the Queen of Cups here, you sometimes have these experiences that can maybe frightening, that can feel like your comfort zone. I don't feel that it's that, but to come back down to earth here at the end card with the Queen of Cups, the Magician card here and the Temperance card here is knowing who you are in the world and sitting with it. Strange feeling for just a September read. And the Magician card here and having the tools at your disposal to be able to make the best of what is in front of you, not just for October, but for the rest of your life. And you often hear, or you often feel these type of feelings, when people have, I'm not going to say, and this isn't you, I'm not thinking near death, I'm thinking meditation. I'm thinking outer body experience, to be honest, or some sort of practice that you may know that I don't know about, because you've got the Will and the Judgment card here. It's like taking you into different worlds through a really, like a full stop or drastic viewpoint or a complete change of view. Really, with the Queen of Swords there, it's a lot to do with your mind and how you see things, how you perceive things, and everything is pushed outwards. So with the Moon card here, so let's go back. This is a big read for September here. You've got Mercury in the 12th as well. Jupiter in the 6th. So Mercury in the 12th and Jupiter in the 6th is a funny pairing, especially in this reading, because one is very sort of expansive and understands the bigger picture and can almost read mist. And then the other one is very Mercury in the 12th is seeing the detail in the mist. An opposite Jupiter, which will be in your 6th, as being, to me, feels almost as if you can get, or anybody can get, seeing the bigger picture in an everyday scenario, the 6th house. It's like you enjoy life, you're in it, it's fine, you don't question it that much. I'm sure with Scorpio you actually do, and then you know, and that changes your whole perspective here. But the Queen of Cups, it's almost like an ease with yourself. It's almost like seeing the other side and then knowing who you want to be. This is a big reading for 1 month. And putting that into action and finding balance in yourself and how you actually structure your time on earth. Got big cards in here. There's no other way of saying this. It isn't like going to the supermarket and buying a pack of crisps. This is a little bit more here because of the cards that fall here. And the fact that you've got, you know, Mars, that Scorpio feel in your 8th house, and these expansion cards, this looking outwards cards, and this coming back down to earth and knowing what you want to do next. It's like being thrown out of your body, seeing us all as little ants, knowing where you sit and coming back and thinking, well, I actually want to make an impact in the world and this is what I'm going to do. It's a spirit. This to me is like, I'm so sorry if this is really going over the top. It feels like a spiritual epiphany. And ending what you thought you were here to do, what you thought the world was. But the moon card there, you're probably, if you're Scorpio anyway, you're probably interested in understanding things like this anyway. But this to me feels like a really, it's like an intake of breath, like, oh my God. And then you've got it's like Billy Connolly coming back from tours, when he used to go touring and being a comedian, and he said he was so high that he couldn't actually sit in the mundane with his family when he got back. And this feels like you actually do a good job of being that, although it's not easy, because you've still got big cards at the end. You've got big cards at the beginning. You've just got an experience in the centre, and then you've got you settling into it with what feels like heart energy. Okay, Scorpio, I'm going to leave you there anyway. Well, I've got an exciting September. Yeah, that's a big spread, I know, but that is what I've got, because it just feels right to me with the cards and with the astrology, with the houses being stimulated. I'm going to leave you there. And if you're Scorpio, you probably would like that. Maybe, I don't know. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, this is for your September. If you're Sagittarius rising, sun or moon, if you're actually Sagittarius rising, it will apply easier to you because the houses would be applicable, but it doesn't really matter either way. You might just have to ignore the bits about the houses. There is a feeling here, as I was putting these out, of you start I don't know why I start laughing when it actually comes out as if it's a tougher read, and I don't mean to be mean, it's just that I know what it feels like when we go through situations and they're hard. The reason why I'm saying that is probably, I'm apologising here, Sagittarius. Hopefully out of all the signs you're going to forgive me. The Devil card here, look at him. That's you in September, and I'm flicking to the central power, which is the most important. You've got shadow self. Okay, and then you've got the Page of Wands, which to me, with these quite, I want something, I'm going to get it, but oh my God, I don't know if I should. And the Page of Wands is, to me, with a Sagittarius, is shall I play with that? So I'm looking like, what will you be playing with? What could you do that you may be morally incorrect, but you still want to push it that little bit further? And you have got Mars in your 7th house. So it feels like in some way, in relationships, that you've almost like had time to yourself to perfect a plan of action that you think could be highly amusing, but you're just about to do it, and you start, Sagittarius do things for the fun of experiencing life, but there's something about this plan of action that you may have in your head that you think actually really, really deep down, when your mum and dad have sat you down and said, is that a really good idea? You couldn't honestly say yes. You've got cards as it continues. The Seven of Swords with two men. The Seven of Swords is sneaky. It's this snake coming in and taking an egg, and you've got two men here. So if you are thinking of, I'm not going to say an affair. because you've got the Page here, and you think that is going to be great. If you're thinking of making yourself turn up like a genie in a certain situation with somebody that you're attracted to while you're in another relationship. It feels like you could, the month could be, half the month could be thinking that's a good idea. And especially, you know, with Mercury being in retrograde, it's like you're thinking a lot of introspection here. And then maybe the opportunity comes towards you, but you decide not to do it because it just doesn't feel right. So I don't know if this does feel right to you. So Mercury is in your 10th house. So Sagittarius, not Sagittarius, Jupiter. Yeah, okay, it's opposite that, isn't it? In your 4th. So home and away is what I'm thinking here, but I'm not going to sing that for you. To me, it feels like the same thing. And if this may not apply, but for September, you may come up to a situation that you may think is highly amusing, even though you know that you're crossing a boundary, and you're just going to sort of like poke your tongue out a little bit. And as I've said before in other readings, it's like Nemo touching the butt when his dad says, "Don't touch the butt, don't touch the butt." So he gets his little flipper and touches the butt. That's what it's about. Actually, just says butt. That's what this feels like, and it feels like you're having fun with it, and it feels like you're really excited about it. You've got here like a plan of action. You've got your Page of Pentacles, you've got the Ace of Wands. It feels like something naughty you've got up your sleeve that you've concocted, and you're gonna you feel like you want to just be slightly rebellious or bilious or obnoxious. I'm joking there. It's doing something where you think you're pushing the boundaries. And if you are a true Sagittarius, you will love it because it will feel like you're alive. It could be some, and I'm guessing here, somebody you're attracted to, the Devil card here, and these two people at the end, 2 men, and doing the sneaky. And I don't feel like it could be, you know, like having an affair. It could go that far that actually it's consummated in some way. Snake and eggs, eh? I'm going to leave that there, but it could be just putting yourself a little bit further down the line, a relationship where you feel like if you were asked what you were doing, you wouldn't know how to get the words out. Just thought there. So Sagittarius, to start wrapping you up with regards to September, it feels like you can have lots of fun. It feels like you're going to be questioning your morals somewhere along the line. And you may get a chance to act on those lack of morals, but you're going to enjoy yourself. But that it feels like opportunities arise for you to be able to reflect, is what I was trying to say there, Sagittarius. But with the Devil card there and the shadow self there, having that reflection. Well, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave you there. The choices are yours, but you could be coming up to some sort of crossroads where you've got a choice to make. Okay, Sagittarius, I'm going to go. Bye. Hi Capricorn, and this is for Capricorn rising, sun, moon, but the rising, it will be easier to identify the houses with if you've got Capricorn rising, but it doesn't really matter either way. So this is your month of September. I'm going to try and integrate the astrology with the tarot as much as I can, so that it gives you a more accurate reading. You've got the 8 of Swords and the Page of Cups in the centre pile, and you've got the Fool card over here. When I put this pile out, I'm thinking this is hard. It's like harsh. It feels to me like tough, cool energy, which I suppose Capricorn is, because these two are like drowning animals. Don't disappear. It's not a bad spread at all. And this is making a different decision. And you have got, if I'm correct, you've got Mars in the 6th during, if you've got Capricorn rising here. So that to me is putting a lot of effort in, which a Capricorns normally do, into work. And you've got a feeling here of, funny, Cancer was similar, and I said like carrying the can, but with this it feels like you're always pushing, and you know Capricorn take on a load, don't they? And then it feels with the Death card and the 10 of Wands here, you get to a point where you may already be there, because this is more the past, this is more now, where you you're looking for a break. And that is a long way to come for a Capricorn to say that. But you've got the Fool card here. So you're looking for something new. You're looking for a change. You've got the Death card in the first pile. So you may already be there already before September. You've got here the Eight of Swords with the Page of Cups. It feels almost like a kettle that's boiling when you put too much water into it and the water comes out of the spout. With the Page of Cups, it's when that water comes out of the spout and Uranus is square. Of course, of course. You have got at the moment Uranus square Capricorn. What's the planet called? Saturn. So there's going to be this water at the spout feeling, because it's like Saturn is, is restriction and control and things in order and things traditional and things proper. Uranus is the complete opposite. And you're pushed with both at the moment. And it's almost like you've got to boiling point where you can't breathe. And it's like you're ready to make a change. And it's taken a long time with these cards here to get there. And in September, it feels like you've still got that Hierophant card at the end. So you're still maintaining who you are and that feeling of feeling secure with tradition and with, things in their proper place. But the Seven of Swords and the Moon card here, it's like you are seriously thinking of changing something in your life. Where would the change be coming? Work. Yeah, your mind is on work. Your mind is stuck in work, but it may be even with, Mercury being your mind, which I think is in your 10th house, being opposite Jupiter, which will be in your 4th house. The Hierophant card could be either, couldn't it? It could be home and away. So you could. To me, it feels like you were wondering how to divide your pleasure time up with your work time, and you have some sort of, my dog's barking outside, something comes into your life that almost shoves you into a decision, and it feels like you want to take, oh, my dog's woofing, a sideline or a sidestep here. And you're not sure exactly how to do that because you've still got the Moon card here, but it feels like you keep the status quo for a period of time, but your mind is searching elsewhere. You're thinking of different things with regards to how you get your money, well, how much time you spend at home, how much pressure you can take, how much do you actually want to be Capricorn, because this is like bringing something to an end and having a new start. There's anxiety, there's like a new perspective, a new emotion, probably an emotional feeling to put it somewhere else, and you feel probably being Capricorn as well. And Capricorn have a great sense of responsibility, so it may feel like the wrong thing to do to give up your job, or if you've got people relying on you, all these responsibilities on top of you, but you still can maintain that, but your mind's moving elsewhere with where can you go next. So to me, this feels unsettled. It feels like oh gosh, how do you put this into words? You've got the Fool card here. You're preparing yourself for change in September. Something comes into your vision or into your view, or a particular situation that allows you to see things more clearly and release yourself from what could be anxiety or pressure and start thinking of alternative perspectives or alternative lifestyles, but without feeling totally ungrounded, because you've still got the Hierophant card here, but it's going through a process of searching. So to me, it doesn't feel action orientated. It feels like a change of a mindset. Yeah, with regards to work. It's like a shift. It's a big shift, I think, in September for you. But not an uncomfortable shift. It's like you maintain control in who you are and where you are and where do you want to be next. but it's still a shift. You're moving towards this Uranus energy. So, and that is the battle between the Capricorn Uranus. You know, the Fool wants to change things and is always like, there's no respect for the past with Uranus. Well, there isn't actually. I'm talking about Uranus, not people. There isn't much respect for what's past or tradition. It's always what's next, what is coming next. And Saturn is the complete opposite. It's like, this is what's happened and I respect that and I'm going to work with it slowly. Uranus is like, bash it down. And you can see that in people who have those particular planets strong in their charts. So it feels as if you're having a Uranus bashing, which is being kind to you and allowing you to change slowly, but is waking you up as you're coming through the water there. Yeah. Looks tough. The cards look tough to me, but with having this card here and the change in the past, it's like, yeah, it's going to be a bit of catching a wind in your sails, but those sails are in your mind and allows you to think more clearly. Capricorn, I'm going to go. Bye. Hi Aquarius, this is your reading for September. If you've got Aquarius rising, sun or moon, especially rising, well, it'd be easier for you to apply the houses if you've got rising, but it doesn't matter either way, to be honest. You've got a feeling here, I'm going to try and intermingle the astrology with the tarot here, and there's a feeling here of, if you've got some sort of sideline, if you've got some sort of, I did say moonshine once, some sort of hobby that interests you, something that you do naturally, could be socializing. I know I'm talking to Aquarius, so that may not be what I'm thinking about here. It could be communicating. What is in Gemini? Mars is in Gemini in your fifth. It must be. You've got the Justice card in the center. So I'm thinking air, communication, versatility, you know, laughing, joking, people around you. The Daughter of Water is getting something started. I feel that is part of what is makes your heart float. I can't think of the way to say that. Makes your heart beat, makes you just feel like it's good, but it's structuring it in some way. So Mars in the fifth house, social, chatting, talking, doing lots of different things, hobbies, but almost making them part of your life. It could be something that comes up in September. You've got here the Shaman card and you've got the Ace of Cups. If you've got an interest in something occult based, something that, and I know that's a strange word, occult, and when I say it, I've got a book upstairs. Actually, my sister's got a book upstairs, but I did have it when I was young about Sorry, the author is Colin Wilson and the book is Occult, and it's a magnificent book, especially if you're not really that interested in, and it gives you such a broad perspective of lots of different varieties of things that are under the occult umbrella. It's one of those books that you read and you think, my God, this man's mind is amazing to be able to get that much information in detail and go into so many different avenues. Why am I saying this? Because this has this feeling. Because you've got like a feeling here of hobbies, versatility, communication, being sociable, something that is possibly a little bit with the Shaman card here, Knight of Pentacles, you may have already got started and you're wondering where to go with it. The Ace of Cups, you possibly could have got it rolling. You could have a tarot business. You could have an astrology business. I don't know, business, or you could just be setting it up. I don't really know. Or you could work in those type of fields. And you're wondering whether to, the Hierophant card here, how to cement that. And you've got the Ace of Pentacles is like, just do it. It won't be easy. It feels like you're emotionally invested in this. But with being the fifth house, it feels as if you're not really sure whether is it a hobby, or am I going to be able to live, or am I, should I give up my day job type of feeling here. And my husband came back at the weekend. He went up to Birmingham and he said to me, and we've had this discussion before, he said he saw a sign for a psychic fair, and I keep thinking, with the internet, do those things die? I used to do this all the time as a kid. I used to go to psychic fairs where a group of people were there socialising. It's in a building. If you're that, just in case if you're thinking of doing that, whether it's for your work or whether it's for your career or where you want to go next, or just for yourself maybe. Don't know. Just a thought there. you've got Venus in the 8th as well with the Shaman card here. That is, you know, is unsolved mysteries, investigating things, understanding things, and once again the occult. Why are you coming across as the Daughter of Water here with regards to this spread? Okay. This, to me, as soon as I put these out, it had a chironic feel about it. I'm thinking the Daughter of Water, good at emotionally relating, somebody who's quite sweet and open. Then you've got here what feels like, you know, you've been through trials and tribulations and hurt, but you've come out in a way of understanding people. So, and this has got a sociable feeling within a building or a structure. You may have already got it started. You've got the skills there already. They could have been moving slowly. Your heart's in it. The Ace of Pentacles. This month is like setting it in stone in some way. You know, asking yourself, where's your Mercury in your 9th house? Of course, this is all very otherworldly, but it's got a feeling of a hobby that you've got going at the moment that you need to concrete. It's the only way I can say with the Hierophant here is put it into some sort of structure, more so if you've already started. You know, do something like organise it into different parts and make it accessible to different people, perhaps with a Hierophant there, because you're the middleman and you're good at it. And then you've got the Ace of Cups here. It won't feel easy, but there will be flow. It will start moving, but it's not as if it's going to come back straight away. It's probably what I'm getting from September for Aquarius here. You've got Mars in the 5th, hobbies, you know, recreation, enjoyment. You know, there's kids there as well, but I don't feel it in this spread because there's too much, what I would say is occult with the Shaman there. And you've got Mercury in the 9th house and you've got Venus in the 8th house. So I'm paying a lot of attention to this Shaman, wondering how can you be a Shaman? And that is with other people, with a structure that you've already started and that gets flowing, but it'll be a slow grower, but you're doing the right thing. So this to me is like an epiphany with regards to taking something forward that you know that you're good at. And it could be occult based. So as I said earlier, it could be something you've started off, like a little business or something on those grounds. You know, maybe healing, I don't know. So that may apply to you. That's quite specific, Aquarius. So if you may want to look at your sun or your moon sign or something different if it doesn't, but that is basically what I've got there. Okay, I'm going to leave you. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Bye. Hi Pisces, welcome. If you are Pisces rising, Pisces moon, Pisces sun, this is the reading for September for you. Pisces rising will be easy for you to identify with the houses, but it doesn't really matter anyway. I've looked at your cards very briefly, but to be honest, I haven't come to some conclusions. So as you are Pisces and as you are flexible, I hope that you will sit, just sit with me and we can go through this together. You have got your Mars in the 4th house if you're Pisces rising. You've got the 10 of Earth here. So I'm thinking 10 of Earth, Mars can be, hard work and tough and at home, being the 4th house. So there may be something that you're doing that feels incredibly repetitive over that month of September. I'm looking to your central pile here. You've got 2 of Pentacles. That's what I'm thinking repetitive here. And you may even be questioning yourself how to get out of this. Pisces, that's not your ideal scenario, is it? Doing something incredibly repetitive that feels very mundane. It's like, no, I don't like that at all. You've got here a feeling that you could get out of it, but if you did, being the 5 of Swords, somebody's left upset and somebody's left victorious. Yeah, I skipped that, but you won't may not feel right if that is so. You have got here, let me just go through the cards and I'll have a look at the astrology. The 9 of Wands at the beginning would be a feeling of quite self-protective in some way, time on your own possibly. Time shut off from people in home. The Star and the Empress, you may have experienced this because this is more towards the past, which probably would be August. The Star and the Empress, a lot of time spent at home enjoying yourself. And now this could be, you've had holidays, possibly then you've got the Eight of Cups and the Hierophant card here. You've had holidays, you've had time to think, you've had time to enjoy yourself. And Pisces likes to be who they want to be, where they want to be. The Eight of Cups and the Hierophant card here, and that's like a traditional building. And the Eight of Cups is like losing something and then having to fight again. Okay, two feels here in this with regards to September. You might find it difficult adjusting back to work if you've had a holiday. There's also a feeling here that if you're doing something that feels quite repetitive or mundane, and you'll get, especially if it's a home situation, especially if it's with family, or even with mother as well, here with this picture here, and these cards down here, you may feel tied into it, but don't try and slip out of it, because I think you might regret it. So this is feeling, September to me at the moment, Pisces, is feeling a little bit like leaving something good behind to go into something that is a normal lead on or addition to, you knew it was coming type of feeling here, because this is repetition. You just want to get out of it and you can't. Feels like frustration slightly in this pile. There's no love spread in this for September though, which you've got your Venus in the 7th house, so there should be something in there with regards to love or relationships or business relationships here. And having, okay, let me just put another card, some more cards out. And this is Venus. How would that apply to this here? Okay. It feels dreamy. You've got the Hangman card here. You've got you being content in your own environment and content in yourself. You may go back into a situation that is like slap bang straight into work. It doesn't have to be work when you've been at home, or you've been able to adjust yourself, or if you've just drawn into your core and taught, your 4th house is drawing into yourself. Let me carry on. You could get some opposition when you go outwards into the world in some way. It's like leaving a situation where you feel really content, you get some sort of opposition, and that is like restriction or people putting things on you. And what you really want to do is just keep swimming. With the Hierophant there, it's like, you must do this. This is what we need from you. Could come from home or work. I don't really know. The Hangman here, with regards to how you're going to deal with that, is you're going to pull back on this energy with the Star and the Empress and just be content in yourself. It's like you don't take what people are saying to you, or the pressure with the Ten of Earth that people are putting on you. It's like you don't try and get out of anything. You just do it, but you just like let it roll over you type of feeling in September. So your Mercury is in the 8th house. So your Jupiter will be opposite that in your 2nd house of self-worth, which is why you're getting these inner cards of contentment and the Hangman card here of not really doing that much about it, understanding what's going on, seeing the situation. You've been in that situation many times before, at home or in work, and this to me feels like advice for you not to quip or to try and get one up in any way, and I don't think you do. Yeah, you don't. You got very internal cards here. So Pisces, for September, it feels that you've got yourself, with that Jupiter in your 2nd house, if I'm right, into a place with the Star and Empress down here and the Ten of Earth, of a feeling of being very satisfied in yourself, of not being easily nudged by the outside world or things that come towards you. There's a feeling here of internal quality and acceptance of where you sit in life and who you are. You may be pushed back into what feels like a repetitive situation, like returning back to work after holidays, and what you actually want to do is walk away, run away, but you don't do, and that's the right thing not to do. Here there's a feeling here of feeling restricted and wanting to fight back, as you do sometimes when you get back into work, especially when you're a student and you have August off. when you're a student, you have 6 months off, if I remember rightly. Oh my gosh, where did that go? It's like a lesson on you viewing yourself in a light of achievement, of where you've got, who you are, how easygoing you are, how beautiful your soul is to be able to ride through these things that feel heavy in a way that is like water off a duck's back in September. And so you must, I guess the advice here is recognize the way that you deal with things and how far you've come, whether it's this lifetime or lifetimes before, you know, doesn't really matter, but it feels like it's like a feeling of only situation I can give you here before I go, and I've said this before, is being really young in a caravan with all my cousins and strict aunties, you know what they're like, really scary, saying don't eat the biscuits, nobody touches these biscuits. And my Pisces Leo sister, who is very giving, very warm-hearted, and the Pisces doesn't really know what's going on, she doesn't take it in, and she was really young, she must have been about 4 or 5, and my Leo cousin being next to me, trotting over straight as Auntie Pat turned her back and just went in and took one and stood there, smile on her face, looking at us eating it, and our eyes were on stalks, and my Leo cousin next to me was wetting himself. It has that feeling like you take that cookie, you take that biscuit out of the jar and you eat it with a smile on your face in September because you deserve it. Okay, Pisces, I'm going to leave you there. Yeah, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much. Bye.